Let's decode identifying trends in IELTS Writing Task 1. We know that in IELTS you have two writing tasks to attend, a Task 1 and a Task 2. Task 1 for academic students is writing a report, whereas Task 2 is to write an essay. Now, writing a report is based on a graphical representation or a pictorial image that is given to you. So, by looking at that image or the graph that is given to you, you have to write a very short report covering around 150 words. Now, one main challenging factor for students here is understanding what the trend is, or to be able to group the different data given on the chart. Now, if it's a line graph, bar graph, and all the other types of graphs that are possible, you have lots of numbers or data given. How do you group these data and how do you write a report based on these? By selecting and reporting the relevant features. That is exactly what I'm going to explain in this video. So together, let's decode identifying trends in IELTS Writing Task 1 report writing. What are the different types of questions that appear in Writing Task 1 which requires you to identify a trend? Well, the first one, of course, is a line graph, as you can see on screen. So you have data plotted against variables. You have the x-axis with the years given here, and you have the y-axis with units. In this case, it's quadrillion units. And the title of the graph tells us that it depicts energy consumption by fuel in the US, and the time frame is 1980 to 2030, which also means that this is a projected graph. So you have data for the past, you have data for the present, and you also have data for the future. So one possible type of question where you need to identify the trend is a line graph. The second possibility is a bar graph. You can see the bar on screen. It says percentage of Malaysian men and women who exercise regularly. So you have the age group given on the x-axis and the percentage given on the y-axis, and you have data coded as male and female using the blue and maroon bars. So yes, information is plotted over different age categories starting from 15 years to over 65. Another type of question is a pie chart. Again, here it shows annual spending by UK school, and you have spending by this particular school in three different time periods: 1981, 1991 and 2001. The different variables are plotted on the pie chart and data is given in percentage. What is the other possible question type? Well, the fourth type of question possible is a table. So you have data given in the tabular form and you have to decode it, understand what the headings on the rows and columns convey, the information given. We choose the most relevant points and write a full report. Now, having understood that there are four main types of questions, let's see what we can do to identify the trend. Look at this example here. It's a table and you can see lots of numbers, but don't worry. Look at the headings given here. It shows consumer durables and we have data given for several years starting from 1972 all the way up to 1983. And the consumer durables given are 1 central heating, 2 television, 3 video, 4 vacuum cleaner, 5 refrigerator, 6 washing machine, 7 dishwasher and 8 telephone. And the data given, the numbers show percentage of households with. So these numbers given are given in percentage. And if you look at the numbers, how it goes, for instance, look at central heating system. What does it say? 1972, 39%. 1974, 43%. And if you compare that to 1983, 64%. So overall, what do you see when you go through the numbers? You can see an increasing trend. What about television? From 93% to 98%. And if you look at the numbers in between, you can see a gradual growth, 96 to 97 and then 98. Similarly, when you run your eyes through all of these different consumer durables, you can see that all of them show an increasing trend, but you can also see a small difference here. It is increasing, but look at this, from 39 to 64%, which is almost double, to another consumer durable, which is from 93% to 98, which is a very marginal growth. So you have big changes and small changes, but overall you can see an increasing trend. So that is your trend that you need to identify. Overall, the percentage of households with these consumer durables showed an increasing trend, though the rate of increase varied from one product to the other. Okay, that's a trend that you can identify. Let's look at one more example. This is a line graph and it shows fish and meat consumption. You can see the years from 1979 to 2004. And on the y-axis, grams per person per week. What are the different meat items given here? We have chicken, we have beef, we have lamb and fish. Now a quick look at this chart. What do you understand? Well, you can see an increasing trend in case of chicken. You can see a decreasing trend in case of beef. You can see that the consumption of fish was almost stable, the rate of consumption. For lamb, you can see the consumption rate showed a marginal fall. But you also can see that if you divide this graph like this, you can see that chicken and beef had higher values, right? Grams per person per week. From around, for chicken it is from 150 grams per person per week to up to 300 grams. And if you look at beef, again from 200 to a little below 150 grams per person per week. But when compared to the value for fish, it stayed at around 50 grams per person per week. So what is a trend that you can see? Well, it is clearly visible that chicken was the most popular consumed meat item. And we know that fish was the least preferred, right? So you can see higher values, you can see lower values. At the same time, you can also see increasing trend and decreasing trend. So you choose one of these opposites. For instance, you either look at the higher and low and group your data accordingly. So I hope this video was helpful in giving an idea on how to identify trends. Now, if you're looking for more detailed videos related to all of the writing tasks, all you need to do is follow us and we'll be putting up more such videos. And if you need something in specific, do not forget to put it on as comments below this video and we shall definitely consider those topics for our upcoming videos. Thank you.
Medcity International Academy. Trusted hands forever.